Still no opponent announced for Roman Reigns at Backlash next month. We're 2 weeks away. But it's pretty well obvious that Drew McIntyre is being groomed for that next spot. I think the timing on this is all wrong. But who else do they have? If you said, okay, Solomonster, well, who would you go with? It's not an easy answer. I don't have an easy answer for you. You could throw out a Shinsuke Nakamura. Nobody in their right mind is going to buy Shinsuke Nakamura in that spot. Shinsuke Nakamura, as he was when he first came to the main roster, when he first set foot in NXT, that Shinsuke Nakamura is dead and buried. He doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, you could throw him in there if you need a warm body. I don't see how that's going to really get people all that excited. Maybe just to avoid doing the Drew match that early, I might just throw somebody like him in there, but there's no good answer here because they don't have anybody else. If they don't want to go right to Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, which they're doing at all the live events. They had another one of their Saturday night's main event house shows last night. And again, Roman Reigns, he beat Drew McIntyre. They had like a 30-minute match, I think. So they're working with each other. It's pretty clear they're going to be working on television soon. If they don't want to go right to that match on the next pay-per-view, there is one alternative. They could have Roman in the corner of the Usos at Backlash for the winner-take-all unification match. Drew McIntyre could volunteer to be in Orton and Riddle's corner, especially after the segment on Friday, where Orton was in the back with Riddle and McIntyre, and Orton said that he and Drew now are cool despite their past issues. And Drew told him, look, anybody opposed to the bloodline is okay in my book. So maybe Drew gives RK Bro the assist and helps them win the match. They unify the titles, Orton and Riddle. That way they throw Raw a bone in USA Network. They already lost one title at WrestleMania. SmackDown won that unification. Raw wins this one. But it's the spark that really lights the fire for the eventual match between Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. Because Drew is interfering in family business. He's interfering in bloodline business. It's not ideal. I mean, you want your champion to defend his title on the pay-per-views, but again, they've really painted themselves into a corner here. There is no one else ready for Roman. There's no other credible challenger for him. You know, you even look at the Raw brand, because he's the unified champion now. You could pull somebody from Raw, but even there, AJ Styles is busy with Edge. Finn Balor, give me a break. Bobby Lashley is occupied with Omos. You know, even on that side, there's no really good option. But you're going to have a week to build this thing. We'll see what they do on television this Friday. I would assume we'll get some interaction with Roman and Drew on TV. They're going to have a whopping grand total, I think, of 9 days to promote, you know, a championship match if that's the way they go for Backlash between Roman and Drew. I mean, it's insane to me. But you also have the issue of how long do you wait? You know, what do you do? With a week to build this thing, giving away Roman Reigns against Drew McIntyre now, instead of waiting for Money in the Bank or waiting for SummerSlam, is crazy to me. And that doesn't even count Hell in a Cell. They have a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view in June. So I don't think they're going to have a choice. Whether it's Backlash or Hell in a Cell, they're going to have to go to Roman and Drew soon. You know, by the way, last week, when I talked about the Cardiff show at Principality Stadium in September, I mentioned Tyson Fury. I said, remember that name. There's a very good chance they end up involving him on that show in some way. And I said, don't rule out the possibility of it being him against Drew McIntyre. If McIntyre isn't wrestling Roman Reigns. After he won his fight at Wembley Stadium yesterday, at the post-fight press conference, Tyson Fury was asked about WWE, and he said that he would love to be part of the Cardiff show. And he specifically named Drew McIntyre as somebody that he would love to fight. So there you go.